Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. A bit of Star Wars news, or potential or news of potential. What would have been a potential Star Wars TV series? We all know about the Star Wars Underworld series that George Lucas planned to do and then decided not to bother. Don't know why. They did test footage and all this stuff, and it looked amazing. They had like 50, 60 episodes written and all that for it. But anyway, new article out today from Forbes is telling us that George Lucas' scrapped Star Wars TV show reportedly cost, or would have cost, $40 million per episode. So let's have a read of this. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Explore the description for links for various stuff such as merch, me books. It's just fallen on the floor. What else? My other websites, I've forgotten, and all that stuff. Drop us a super chat, or not a super chat, a super thanks, be greatly appreciated. Or become a member like these amazing people, wherever they're popping up somewhere on the screen. Become a member, then you get early access to videos and exclusive emojis in the live chat. I generally do in my live streams members only live chat because of trolls and stuff, usually. So there's that as well. Right, so let's have a read of this article, shall we? As I said, it's from Forbes. Let's pop it up and see what happens, as the doctor said. From Forbes, there we go. George Lucas has scrapped Star Wars TV show reportedly cost $40 million per episode, says Paul Tassi, senior contributor at Forbes. There's, speaking of Disney Star Wars, there's a scene from the Book of Boba Fett, which is bloody awful. Anyway. Right, you may have heard about the tragedy of George Lucas the Wise, where before he ended up selling Star Wars to Disney, he had it in mind that he was going to make a sprawling Star Wars TV series. Now, of course, we have many of those on Disney+, but a new interview on the Young Indie Chronicles podcast, which I didn't even know existed, with producer Rick McCallum, who was working with Lucas on the series back in the early 2000s, has now detailed just how insane this would have been. Yeah, Rick McCallum worked on the prequels. He kind of became, I think he worked with George on the special editions, when he did the special editions of the original stuff as well. He worked as a producer. But he was a yes man. He was a George Lucas yes man, even though there are stories of him having blazing rows. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere, having blazing rows with George Lucas and effing and blinding at him. But I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, so just listen to this. Here we go, about the Star Wars Underworld. The show, Star Wars Underworld, was supposed to be more dark, sexy and more violent than any Star Wars production before it. At that point, keep in mind, it was just the 6 Lucas movies. There were a full 60 scripts written for the series well before it was potentially going to become a reality. I'd heard it were 50 scripts, but whatever. The show was meant to connect to the video game Star Wars 1313, another project that ended up cancelled, where Lucas offered direct, often incredibly tough feedback to implement input about its direction. One day, famously, he said the game should simply star Boba Fett when they were a ways into it already. When they were deep into production, I should say. The most eye-popping aspect of this is that Underworld was reportedly going to cost $40 million per episode. $20 million per episode series are the higher end now, such as Rings of Power. I can't think of any others that might cost that. Severance. Did that Severance series cost something like that? That's on Apple, which I've never seen, but apparently it's really good. But anyway. It's also important to keep in mind this was the early 2000s. To get a sense of Lucas's idea scale here, John Williams was supposed to score the entire series. Oh, right, so that's like $35 million per episode goes to John Williams. HBO was the only network even possibly entertaining this, but there were ultimately, just no way at that price. With a weird twist was that Lucas was set to have a meeting with HBO CEO Chris Albrecht at Skywalker Ranch, but a day before, Albrecht was arrested for assault, and HBO later forced him to resign. Or could he meet with somebody else? I don't know. I don't know how the entertainment business works. Wouldn't he have a meeting with his successor? It'd still be in the diary, wouldn't it, for whoever runs that thing? But whatever. Finally, here's McCallum. Quote, I mean, it would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe, and Disney definitely would have never offered to buy Star Wars from George. It's one of the great disappointments of our life, he said. The rest is history. George Lucas sold Star Wars for $4 billion to Disney in 2012. It has already made far, far more than that with the property. No, I don't know. Yeah, they might have technically made more, in ticket sales and stuff than that. But you've got to remember what they've spent as well. But anyway, which makes that look like a fire sale. It's bloody grammar and spellings, and it's terrible. So was their purchase of Marvel for again $4 billion back in 2009? Would I have loved to see this show come to life? Sure. After the prequels, would I believe... Who the hell... Bloody hell, fine. After the prequels, I believe George Lucas would make a giant budgeted TV series that was worth $40 million an episode. I would certainly have my doubts about that, and it seemed everyone else did too. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's short and sweet, wasn't it? With lots of mistakes in it, but never mind. So yeah, the series would have cost, if you multiply 40 by 60 episodes, you get $2.4 billion. 6 fours are 24. $2.4 billion for a 60 episodes. That wouldn't be just one season, would it? Would it be 5 seasons? 5 seasons of 12 episodes each. That is 60, isn't it? Yeah. Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? That sounds reasonable. Or fewer seasons, with more episodes. But anyway, 4 seasons with 15 episodes. 4 seasons with 15 episodes, maybe. Whatever. But I would like to have seen it. And as I said, they've done test footage, which is available on YouTube. I won't show you I'll show a little bit of it. I'll put the link in the description. The link for the article that there is in the description. Also, I'll put the link for this test footage. I'll show a little bit of it. Here, I'll just play it and we'll just watch it. This is test footage for Star Wars Underworld. Stormtroopers and stuff. This goes to set up Coruscant in the grimy streets of Coruscant. Obviously, there's somebody with some sort of sniper scope there.
Thank you.
Shady dealings going on.
Thank you. We could not have done this without you.
There you go. And all that stuff. I say, all looks jolly exciting. Look, Stormtroopers, yeah.
Caution. Get in the back. Let's go.
It's very fan filmy though, isn't it? I must admit. But it's only test footage, and I imagine it's all filmed in front of a green screen, which it is because it shows here. All in front of a green screen. So there you go. So anyway, I'll put the link for that in the description as well. So yeah, I honestly wish we'd have seen this. Why didn't he just do a pilot episode, a feature-length pilot episode? And if it didn't work, it could have been, in there with the Ewoks movies or something like that. A little Star Wars extra thing. But I would have liked to have seen that Star Wars Underworld, a dark and grimy Star Wars. It'd have been cool. And same with the Star Wars 1313. I think that got cancelled, didn't it, after Disney bought? I'm sure it was after Disney bought the company. They cancelled that. Another reason to hate Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. So there we go. We'll leave it there. So I just found that interesting. That $40 million per episode. This is the early 2000s. We'll say after episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, came out. So after 2005. So mid-aughts. This might have been coming out. But it got scrapped. Unfortunately. Which is a bit poo. And I wish we'd have seen more. It does sound a lot of money, that $40 million per episode. Do you think he's lying? Or do you think he's a bit... I don't know. How old is Rick McCallum now? He's not losing his marbles, is it? I don't know. It could be. It could have been exaggerating. I don't know. But $40 million an episode does sound a bit excessive for that time. I still want to see it, but it's too late now, isn't it? Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the...
with stories to